Okay, this is the very last part is 17, and we already did this one, but I'd left out some steps, so I put them back in. So it's only 2 slides, so it won't take too long, I promise. Okay, so we're going to find the unknown concentration of aluminum hydroxide. Hydroxide tells me it's a base. Anytime OH is second, it's a base. When 63 milliliters of 1.05 H2SO4, that's sulfuric acid, how do I know it's an acid? H is first, okay? And again, it's needed to titrate. And remember, titrate means to neutralize, okay? So first thing you do is you find the one you know 2 things about. I know 2 things about my acid. I know its molarity and I know its volume. If you multiply my molarity by volume, changing this to liters, you will get moles. I think the last time I didn't put that in there. Sorry about it. Okay, so I put those in there. All right. So I got my moles of my H2SO4 by multiplying molarity by volume. Okay, then I did my balanced equation, and this, you guys, is probably one of the hardest balanced equation types that you'll have to do. Okay, I have my acid, H2SO4, and my base, aluminum hydroxide. Okay, so the H2 and the OH make up water. What's left over? Aluminum and sulfate. So you put those together, but you can't just write AlSO4. You got to make sure that the formula is written properly. You got to balance the charges. Now you can go back and look it up on your chart if you want, or like I said, you can go over here. See, I know aluminum is 3 because there's a hydroxide and hydrogen are always 1. So whatever's with them, that must be the charge of the other thing. So since there's a 3 by the hydroxide, when I crisscross, aluminum must be +3. So I can put my +3 here. Sulfate, well, look at there's a 2 by the hydrogen, so that must mean this is -2. So then if I crisscross, I have a 2 here and a 3 here. You can do that, or you can just look them up on the chart, whichever way works best for you. Okay, so now that I wrote them out right, I put a 2 here by my aluminum. I put a 3 here by my sulfate. Now my hydrogen, I've got 6 hydrogen here, and I got 2 times 3, 6 hydrogen here, that's 12. So if I put a 6 here, that gives me 12 hydrogen. And then I also have 6 oxygen. 2 times 3, 6 oxygen. So now I have a balanced equation. Okay, so now I'm going to take the moles that I found here. Okay, and then I'm going to go times, and the moles I'm trying to get rid of is H2SO4, so I put that on the bottom, and the moles I'm trying to find is my base, aluminum hydroxide. I put that on top. Okay, so I take this times 2 and divide by 3, and I get this. This is my moles of aluminum hydroxide. I'm sorry it's not all written in here. It's just, it takes up so much space, and then it gets on different lines, and then it gets confusing. Anyway, this is my moles of aluminum hydroxide. So I put that on the bottom. I start with that, sorry. And then I want to find unknown concentration. So concentration is moles over liters. That's molarity. That's what they're talking about when they're talking about concentration is molarity. So I take the moles I just found and I divide by the volume. It says 37 milliliters or 0.0337 liters. There's my molarity of my aluminum hydroxide. Okay. And again, I did that one before, but I missed some steps, so I threw them back in there. Okay, one more problem. Okay, what volume? All right, now we're going to do volume, but honestly, you do it exactly the same way, you guys. So I have 0.36 molar lithium hydroxide, and I'm going to titrate it. I'm going to try to neutralize 131 milliliters of 0.25 molar H2SO4. So I know the concentration of my acid and my base, and I know how much acid I have, so how much base do I need to add to it? You can do that as well. Steps are the same, okay? And again, all I had to do to get the moles of my acid was multiply these 2 together, changing this to liters, okay? So if I took 0.131 liter times 0.25, this is what you get. So this is my moles of my acid. Then I got to do my balanced equation. Okay, here's my acid, H2SO4. Again, I know it's an acid because H is listed first. Here's my base, hydroxide. Okay, I'm going to get water. The H and the OH are going to make water. And then I have lithium and I have sulfate. And lithium must be 1 because there's nothing by the hydroxide. And sulfate must be 2 because there's a 2 by this. So if I crisscross, it's Li2SO4. Again, you can look them up or you can just do what I did. Either or, you're going to get the same answer. All right, so now balance it, 2 here, 2 here. I got a balanced equation. So next, I really cheated on this, didn't I? I do my mole ratio. I take my moles of H2SO4 and I multiply by 2 and divide by 1 because I want moles of LiOH on top and I want moles of H2SO4 in the bottom. And by this is a 1 and this is a 2. So I'm basically taking this and multiplying by 2. And then I take this number. Okay, and now I have moles and I have molarity. All I have to do is divide. So on, sorry, these ones over here, we took our moles and we divided by our liters and I got molarity. Well, if you take your moles and you divide by molarity, you'll get liters. So it doesn't matter, you guys. It works the same. Okay, so I just took my moles and I divided by 0.36 and I got 0.182 liters. So that would be 182 milliliters. So if I take 182 milliliters of lithium hydroxide with this molarity and I add it to this acid, it'll be neutral. Okay, so you can figure it out on paper. You can actually do the titration, but you can figure it out on paper as well. Okay, so those are titration problems. I have a whole bunch of them for you to do, to practice on and whatever. And but I also have, you know, I have some examples for you to follow as well. So good luck with those, and we are done with this whole, actually we're done with this whole unit. Next we'll be starting to review and take a test on unit 2, which is 15, 16, and 17.